It's lunch. So,
Thank
so
you.
over to
Thank you.
folks.
Thank you. I think we'll use this opportunity to start. I guess Vishal will join. So fintech collaboration has been the key point of discussion. When I used to be in a bank, I think we were always looking at what's happening on our side. And as we were discussing with Hitesh and Arun as earlier as well, we were always thinking that the fintech guys, how different they are, and there's always a glamour that what other guys are doing much better, much faster. So bankers think that fintechs are doing better and they want to become like fintechs. And fintechs want to become banks, right? That's what the game is all about. Banks want to become fintechs so that they can become faster, better, sharper. And fintechs want to sort of get into banking because they want to sort of make more money out of it rather than in the sheer existence issues they are in. So I think we have seen a lot of banks have done well. In terms of partnership side, we have seen RBL talking a lot about partnerships, and ICICI and DCB and Yes Bank. All of them have taken sort of forward these kind of partnerships. And we also seen that in this journey, maybe 5-6 years back, there's a glamour of sort of partnerships. And then today there is more caution in terms of partnership because of the sort of challenges which exist today still from a control, regulatory and sort of other issues. So I think with this thought process, let me start with Hitesh, you first. So Hitesh, from your perspective, maybe quick view that when you talk about fintech partnership and collaboration, is this a strategy? Is this something which really needs to be created end to end? Otherwise, how do you see a sort of partnership happening? Because these random partnerships have happened in the past without a strategy, without a plan, without maybe a balance sheet approach as well. So what's your take right now? Do we have a situation where strategy is happening and people are really looking at it?
Yeah, so I think the way we look at this kind of partnership is like there is a limited scope in terms of the kind of innovation you can do when inside your bank, right? And there is a lot more happening in the outside startup ecosystem or fintech ecosystem. Now, how do you marry that outside innovation internally and create superlative experience for your customers? And as a bank, I think we have clearly laid down our objectives of walking on this path. And I think we don't do it just for the sake of fancy, but it should actually result into either increase in revenue for us or help us in reducing our cost by bringing in more efficiency in our operations, or it can be for a wow experience for our customer. So if your objectives are clearly defined, that will also shape up your partnerships. And as you rightly mentioned, I think when we enter into a partnership, we do a partnership where we believe we can achieve a larger scale. Otherwise, you will end up spending a lot of your bandwidth and energy, and results would be not optimal on both sides. So it might not be mutually beneficial for both the parties. So generally, we are very selective when it comes to partner with startups or fintech. But wherever we partner, our objective is to scale it to the next level. So that's the a broader approach. And just to give you some context and numbers to what kind of partnerships we have done. So we did around 60 kind of proof of concepts with various fintech partners last year, and implemented around 19 products.
Okay.
And these are products implemented at a scale. Where some of the partners which are helping us in terms of customer onboarding, we are making around 200,000 API calls every month.
Okay.
So that's the kind of scale with which we operate with our partners. And I can tell you one thing that one cannot grow organically just kind of by building your own branches, building your own digital properties. The only way to grow is kind of collaborate and partner with many more like-minded people, and then both the parties gain out of this.
Okay. Abhishek, from your perspective, you are on both sides, right? You can be considered a fintech and you can be considered a bank, right? So maybe your perspective when you reach out to banks and do partnership, how do you work it out? And if fintechs walk up to you and want to do partnership with you, how do you visualize? Do you put a strategy around that?
I think, so there are two parts to this. One part is the fact that you're doing this as a business and offering banking as a service, so to speak, and looking at it from a commercial aspect of it. The other is what Hitesh talked about is using the services of fintech and augmenting your offering to your consumer. So there are both parts to this. From a Paytm perspective, we partner with banks we have a strategy or we have a plan. We believe we can partner with some bank to take that to the market, own the consumer experience, and bank kind of supports us. We also have a bank which a lot of time competes with other banks for the business of Paytm, or at the other time, Paytm Payment Bank is offering services to fintech players. So we do both sides of it. What we don't do too much of is using fintech services for our consumers. What we are essentially doing is either partnering with bank to offer services to our consumer, or whatever we've developed available to fintech partners for their consumers. So I think that's where the piece is. Dwelling on this particular topic, it's I think a symbiotic relationship. Banks bring things on the table, fintech players bring certain aspects on the table. It's important that both parties understand what they bring on the table and what they want from the relationship, which is exactly what Hitesh mentioned. And it's not just about the commercial element of it. Frankly, startups need to understand that the control, compliance, or the regulatory aspect of it is extremely important. The person on the other side from the bank is far more worried about compliance issues versus making more money out of this transaction, which a lot of times startups don't probably understand in a lot of detail. And on the other side, banks need to understand that the startups are in a hurry and they need to have a product market fit. They need to have a solution which consumers take, and they will be a challenger offering. They will challenge status quo. In that challenge of status quo, what level of support a bank can offer. So I think that's where that balance sometimes happens. A lot of times it doesn't happen.
Okay, okay. In fact, just one pointer from my perspective, when any startup comes to us and say, with whom should I partner, I always tell them that don't talk to top 4 guys. It's a huge queue out there. A lot of guys are there, and you will be maybe 105th in that queue. So figure out those startups, those banks to whom nobody bothers about, right? If you are out of Mumbai, nobody goes to those locations. So I said, go to Banaras, go to Lucknow, go to those places where the banks are. And also there are a lot of NBFCs who can take your product if you can find them. And they were willing to pay as well, because their transactions may not be high, but they may not be that great a negotiator. I guess one of the challenges which we have is that Indians are great in negotiation. In the process, I think the counterparties can actually die in the process. So, but obviously, Vishal, you are not a small startup. So we are talking about Google Pay, right? So from your perspective, when you look at banks and you look at partnership, what do you look at the banks? What aspects you look at saying that we should partner with such a bank so that you can get something out of it? So what's the kind of stuff you are looking at?
Yeah, so I think
other than the size, you have picked up all 4 guys which are big, right? So I'm not able to figure out beyond big anything else was there.
yeah, so I think we largely I won't pick on how partnerships are successful and they are done. But from our perspective, we largely look at the 2 aspects on partnerships. One is on the core rails of ensuring payments and the core service offerings get to. That is where we have partnered with the 4 large banks in the country to enable core payments. On those lines, I think reliability is a key aspect on how we think about it. At the same point of time, we continue to do multiple pilots, and I think whenever we think about a pilot, what's really important is agility, readiness on the APIs, which is basically APIs is how you collaborate in real time with a partner after you have all the strategic intent, after you have a commercial alignment. So yeah, that's how largely we look at partnerships.
Okay. Any chance of any small bank partnering with you?
Of course. So we have we are a platform company, and we open up products for all users, all partners to come in. We have a couple of products on, let's say, we have Insta Loans,
okay,
which is open, which is going to be open for any bank to come and look at Google Pay being a digital channel for them to offer unsecured lending to pre-approved users. So it becomes a more efficient way to reach out to users if they're already coming to the app multiple number of times. So yeah, I mean, that's something which will be available to anyone and everyone.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I'll probably add to this. So you asked this question in terms of working with smaller banks. So frankly, we work with a small finance bank for a fixed deposit above a lakh
Okay.
for our bank deposits. So we work with a large private sector bank on it, and we work with a small finance bank as well. So I think it's a misnomer that banks can't do this. A lot of the smaller banks can do it, provided they have the right technology and scalability. And I think I'll again go back to your question that you tell startups don't go to the big banks and there is a line and so on and so forth. It works both ways. There is no clear-cut right and wrong answer to this. If you're looking at scale, stability, the larger banks are offering that. If you intend to be a player, so if you're a small finance bank or if you're a payments bank or if you're any other bank and want to get into this business, then you need to look at it from a long haul perspective. Have systems to support this ecosystem. You can't just say that, I have a CBS and I will give you this available. I've made some 5 APIs. That's not how it has to work. You have to have a comprehensive thought process. It's possible. Similarly, from the startup or from the entrepreneur perspective or the startup ecosystem, a lot of times they're themselves not very clear. And I don't think the large banks or the smaller banks, so there is no large small issue. It's the question of what is it that you want, and what's your strategy and what kind of stability system you're wanting. If you get to the right people, things move fast. I don't see that moving things fast is an issue.
Okay.
One more, in addition to what Abhishek mentioned, I think so we realized the problem in terms of how do you partner with more and more fintech partners quickly and launch products very dynamically, right? One of the key element to to achieve that, we realized that most of the times you get into custom development with all these fintech partners, right? How do you create standardization? So we take, also open banking is becoming a way of life, right? And we have taken a very big step in that direction where we have created ICICI Bank API portal. What we have done is we have standardized around 250 plus APIs. So here, I think it's like we give access to all the fintech partners. People can come play around with it and create product on top of it. They don't need to talk to us as well. I mean, it's just a very simple process. You just put up your idea, you register yourself, and start playing with our APIs. So I mean, no more queues and no more kind of bureaucracy layers and all those stuff. So a lot of it can be kind of made it, and obviously at the end of the day, if the product has the merit, everybody will pick it up, right?
Okay, I don't agree. It's not that easy from anybody from outside to get into any of these large banks. Small banks also is not easy. You don't know which door to open. And किस door से जिन्न निकलेगा पता नहीं लगता, right? You don't know who is going to bless you with support, right? So it's very difficult. Otherwise, so much of sort of deaths would not happen on the startup ecosystem, right? Anyway, so I think we look at collaboration always. Hitesh, this question is to you. We always look at collaboration around lending and now in the neo banking world, accounting and other places and payments. Have you seen any kind of partnership or a fintech collaboration which is around, say, international trade, treasury, which are more complicated? So, I mean, do you see beyond just these two plain vanilla lending and payments, something else can happen now?
Sure. So maybe it would be appropriate to give you some examples, and then it will be more. So we work with all the top tier corporates and their suppliers. Bill discounting, and it's very easy. They get the access to finance very quickly, right? What happens to tier 2 suppliers or tier 3 suppliers? How do you address that problem? So we've been partnering with independent platforms where people are coming and developing dynamic discounting platforms for the corporates, and also helping us to create a lot of transactional data, which can be kind of then used for giving which can be used for giving bill discounting limits and those kind of stuff. So there we have seen couple of